This is the Bunny Slippers Are Evil Job Seekers Call-In Show. And now, a word from our sponsors. Evil Bunny Consulting is the job search alternative to expensive outplacement. For more information, go to bunnyslippersareevil.com. Let 3dresumes.net turn your resume into a web page with a customized domain for 12 months for only $30. Help hiring managers and recruiters find you and make your resume available 24/7 and get a free professional email address just for your job search. You can see my online resume at tyronegriffin.com, and to get your own, go to 3dresumes.net. If you are thinking or about to look for a job in today's world, you will find a new reality in the job search process. The world has changed. Job search today is much more complicated than 5 years ago. Volumes of resumes, more applicant screening systems, depersonalized applications, panel interviews, team hiring, long, complicated applications, branding and social media. Yes, the world has changed. But have you? Are you still trying yesterday's approach? Why struggle and miss out on today's opportunities? Career Oyster is here to help. Great coaches, the latest resources, unique strategies, person-tailored to your job search. Find out the new reality and how you can prevent costly mistakes. To register for a free 45-minute private lesson with Howard Caddy, go to careeroyster.com. Find the facts now. You'll be glad you did. Remember their motto, the world is your oyster, be the pearl.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday. What is today? Today is November 5th, 2016, and this is the Bunny Slippers Are Evil Job Seekers Call-In Show. I'm going to dispense with all the original stuff. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you listen to me live or you checking out the video, we're not on Blog Talk this week. We're just on Facebook Live, and we're going to be on, I'll be on YouTube later on today when I put this video up. But this is every Saturday. Usually around 10 o'clock, I do, for the new people, I do a show on job search, on different things you need to do, different aspects of job search, looking for a job, staying motivated, all those good things. So this week's show, this week, the first Saturday of the month, usually do job search Q&A, okay, for every month. This month's topic, first question I got was, should I quit my job? Okay. First of all, that is before you listen to anything else I say, the answer to that question is very personal. I can't tell you if you should or if you shouldn't quit your job. What I can tell you is the things you need to think about and need to work your process through that idea before you just up and quit your job. Because I know people who got up and done that and quit their job, and 2 hours later they're regretting it like crazy. So we're going to talk about those things today. If you got any questions, hit me up on Facebook Live. I'll try to answer them as we go. Hey, Chris and Brittany, thank you so much for joining. Tell your friends, this is free. It's all about job search. Today's topic, again, job search Q&A. The first question is probably the one that's going to take a lot of time to talk about. Should you quit your job? So I looked at some research about why people quit their jobs, and there are 10 different reasons, top 10 reasons. And I won't go into detail on them, but it was like, relationship with your boss, your boredom, relationship with your coworkers. Do you think you're contributing to the overall goal, autonomy and independence? How meaningful is the job? How financially stable is your organization? What's the corporate culture, and what's management recognition? Now, first thing about this, if you're in a situation, if you're in a job and you don't like your boss or you don't like your coworkers, can you suck it up? Well, here's the thing. Okay, if you think about, let me back up because there's so many different ways to hit this. If you're thinking about leaving your job, the first question you have to answer, and I'm talking about people who are not about to be fired or anything, people who are just, you know what, I don't want to work here anymore for whatever reason. Did you just hit lotto? If you just hit Powerball, hey, all bets are off, do what you want to do. But the first question, if you're about to leave your job, if you're thinking about leaving your job, do you need the money? Do you have a working spouse that you're like, you and your spouse got together and decided, okay, you know what we need to do? One of us needs to stay home. Okay. That's a totally different issue. If you are the main breadwinner in your family, or if you are one of the two main breadwinners in your family, how will you replace that income? It seems like a minor, simple question, but people leave jobs all the time and then have no idea how they're going to support themselves. I'll figure it out later. No, don't figure it out later. Trust me, it's ugly out there. So, if you are the sole breadwinner in your family, this is my personal opinion. If you are the sole breadwinner, suck it up. If you don't like your boss, deal with it. Figure out a way around it until you find another job. Don't just get up and walk out of your job. If you don't get along with your coworkers, I knew a situation where somebody was saying their coworker bullied them. Okay, and it was like, really? You work from home 3 days a week. How can this person bully you? But that's a whole nother issue. But if you don't get along with your coworkers, figure it out. If you got to go take somebody and go to lunch, have a sit down conversation with them. Because look, here's the thing about work. You remember this. This is not your life. Okay, this is not your end all be all do all, gotta have everything. This is a job. I ain't gotta like none of y'all. Okay, I told my coworkers, if I don't like any of y'all, and I've told them this, if I do not like any of you, you will never know unless you're driving home with me in my car when I'm cussing you out. Otherwise, when I come in, how you doing? You know, this is a job. I got to get a job done. If you got somebody that you don't get along with at the job that you have to work with, figure out a way to get along with that person. You know, if I have to tell somebody, I have to ask somebody when I get them on the phone and they're funky and this and that, if I have to ask them, hey, how your cats? Or how's your kid doing in college? Or whatever I got to do to get that person off of being funky with me and get them to be, oh, my cats are great. And then we can get to work. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. Okay, so if you just don't like the people you're working with, like Charles repeated, suck it up until you get your next gig. But don't let somebody let you walk out of a good paying job because you don't like something. Because you don't like something. And see, this is the thing, millennials, and I don't mean to bash dog y'all on this, but we've heard some crazy stories about millennials. Y'all born in the 90s and the 80s, where, you know, you go to school, you go to work, and your mama called your boss because they didn't like your raise. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't have your mama calling your job, okay, and talking to your boss because they don't like the raise, okay, or they don't like your working conditions. Suck it up, deal with it, okay? I have a son in college right now. And one thing I told him is like, bro, look, if you're having trouble in your classes, me and your mother can't help you. You got to go with that professor. You got to suck it up, man up, and roll it and do what you got to do. If you are having a problem with a coworker, figure it out. This is not grade school anymore. This is real life, okay? You having a problem with it? My nose is itching. Sorry. You having a problem with a coworker? Figure out how to make it work. This is not about anything other than figuring out how to make it work. Don't let no coworkers, because most likely people don't just hate you for no reason. There's something behind it. Maybe they don't like that you were hired. Maybe they don't, you know, maybe you dogged them out 6 months ago on a project or whatever. I don't know, but find out what it is. Okay, so don't go quitting your job just because you don't like this person. Okay, don't do that. Okay, I had a boss, and I'll tell you honestly, I had a boss. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate the sharing. I had a boss, and I'm not exaggerating about this. He and I used to shut the door. People think they don't believe it, but he and I used to shut the door. I worked at Aetna, and I won't say his name. I have a lot of respect for the man. We used to shut the door, and we used to go at it. We used to argue. Finish, open the door, walk out. And I don't encourage anybody to do that. I don't encourage anybody to go off on their boss like that. I was young and stupid, and he, for whatever reason, he respected my opinion enough that he would that he would not fire me. Okay, I'll put it like that. But I don't recommend anybody do that. But anyway, my point is, if you have a problem, if you have a personality problem with someone, suck it up. All right, figure out what the problem is so you can move on. Because I'll be honest, you don't need this stuff hanging over your head. That's the point blank truth. You do not need this stuff hanging over your head. You don't need to lose a good job just because you're not getting along with somebody. Okay, you do not need to do that. It's not worth it. And particularly what you find out a lot of times is when you do talk to somebody, it's not as bad as you think. And they're like, well, I thought you were like this, so that's why I didn't do nothing. Man, I'm not like that. I'm like this. Oh, okay, then we cool. Then we cool, you know? So, again, suck it up. Go to the person. But when you look at the reasons that people, these top 10 reasons I researched and came out with why people leave their job. Okay, this autonomy and independence. Yeah, you want a better job. You want a job where you can spread your wings, and that's understandable. But the first rule, if you need this income, don't quit your job. Now, the question, if you want more autonomy and independence, have you talked to anybody about that? Have you got up and talked to your boss? I got to get up and walk around, y'all, sorry. Have you talked to your boss about giving you more independence? Have you talked to your boss about maybe being able to do something for you, where you can get more skills on the job? I'm sorry, y'all, my phone is about to die. And I should have charged that before I walked away. But have you talked to anybody? Have you discussed with your boss? Because a lot of times, and I'll tell you honestly, a lot of times bosses are looking for people to take on more responsibility. They're literally looking for people to do that. And a lot of times they can't find it. Okay, so have you talked to your boss? What have they said? If you did talk to your boss, did they say, yeah, we can do this. We can talk about having more accountability, more responsibility for you. That's one thing. Oh, by the way, that up there, those are my parents. God love them. Okay, let me get this set up. So, I apologize, people. My phone was dying on me, and I didn't realize that. But anyway, plug that in. But have you talked again? So, have you talked to your boss? And if they said they've given you, more than likely, your boss will give you some kind of idea, and they'll say, you know what? If you want more autonomy, here's what you have to do. You have to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, and they'll tell you, here's what you need to do. So now, here's another reason people quit is the financial stability of the company. Okay, that's real. I always joke about, you know what? People say, why do you work for so-and-so? And I say, because they make payroll. Plain and simple. They make payroll. Now, if your company is not making payroll on a regular basis, you need to look for another job. But the thing about quitting a job, here's something you got to remember. When people quit jobs, you have a challenge getting unemployment because you quit. And I don't know what all the rules are, but I do know when you quit a job, it becomes an issue how you can file for unemployment. So don't quit unless you have to. Now, if you are in a situation where you are experiencing some kind of abuse, verbal, physical abuse on the job, that's a totally different story. You definitely need to consider stepping away from that or getting authorities involved. I'm not telling anybody to stand there and take something that they don't need to take. But the little things, and I don't mean to minimize anybody's idea of what a little thing is on the job or what a something that it's not important to me, but it's very important to somebody else. But again, you have to make that decision yourself. Now, one other reason people quit is the corporate culture. Okay. Unless corporate culture changed, unless you didn't know about it, what is it about the corporate culture that's bothering you? Answer that question. What is it about what they're doing or how they're doing it that's bothering you? Again, I'm not going to say these are minor issues. I'm not going to say they're major issues. It all depends on how you feel about them. Okay. How do you feel about these issues? That's the bottom line. Let me see. Management recognition. Now that's one of those ones where, when you say management recognition, do you mean, is it because everybody got a bonus and you didn't, or because other people got promoted, you thought you should have got promoted? You got to think these things through. You have to make these decisions. But don't ever do anything, including leave your job. Don't ever do anything because you're upset, because you're angry. Okay? Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you do things because you're angry, you do the wrong things. Let's be blunt. You do the wrong things when you're angry. Okay? When you act emotionally, when you base your just like relationships. If old people say, how do you stay married so long? They say, don't ever go to bed angry. Same thing with work. Don't don't ever go to bed angry. Don't ever write. I had to write an email yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I was venting. I vented to my boss about something, and I wrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it about 3 or 4 times, because I wanted to say some things, but I wanted to say them in such a way that it was professional. It's a good thing I did, because that email found its way to some higher ups, and they understood where I was coming from, and they agreed with the suggestion I made. But my point is this: don't ever do anything out of anger, especially on the job. Don't quit out of anger. Don't respond out of anger. You see people get mad. Oh, I'm gonna tell her, and they start typing on the keyboard all crazy, and everybody looking at them like, yeah, go ahead, get it. Let me explain something about your peeps at work. They will watch you run into a brick wall, and they'll be eating popcorn the whole time. Okay, that's the reality of what people will do. People, if you're gonna run into a brick wall, people are like, oh, let me watch. Okay, so you got to be very careful listening to other people. Just like in the street. Oh, I know you didn't let this person say this about your mama. Oh, you gonna let them get away with that? You can't let them say that about you. You got to go do something. And people run off and do something and get fired or whatever. And folks is like, yeah, man, that was messed up. You probably shouldn't have done that, huh? And you're like, really? You was patting me on the back, come on, go get him. So again, don't do anything out of anger on your job. Don't quit out of anger. What other, let me look at my other reasons. Boredom. Okay, that's always a funny one to me. You bored on your job. Okay, being bored on your job is legitimate. What are you using your time for? Maybe God put you in that job so you could have some time to think. Or maybe he put you in, I'm not saying you should be taking time away from your employer, but some people end up in a situation where they got a lot of time on their hands and they're in school. And they got study time. I'm just saying. Just a thought. So boredom, particularly if you have a good job. It depends, if you have a good job, what's your possibility for promotion? And all these are good things to think about when you decide to quit a job. But the bottom line is this: you do not quit a job. If you need that money, I don't care how mad they make you. Unless they are physically or mentally abusing you, you really need to think about that. And I saw a lot of people in transition who left jobs. I'll find something else. I'm tired of these people. I'm going to go get me something else. And 6, 8, 10 months later, they still looking for a job. And then they go, yeah, I probably shouldn't have left that job. That was probably not a good thing to do. It's like, you think? Okay. Don't get up and just huff and puff and blow your house down. And like I said originally, if you hit lotto, that's a reason to quit. But make sure you cash that check first. Okay, there was a video a couple years ago. This guy, friends pranked him. They bought him a lotto ticket for his birthday, and it was a winning lotto. It was a fake lotto ticket, and he scratched it off, and he thought he won like a bunch of money. He quit. He dogged his friends and quit his girl right on the spot. Think about that. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Okay, but anyway, as far as leaving your job, I think I covered all the reasons. Relationship with the boss, relationship with coworkers, contribution to overall business goals. Yeah, that's one of those, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you need to know that you are contributing to the goal of the business. And I understand it. Everybody wants to feel like they are contributing. But before you quit, before you make these kinds of decisions, I say with anything, go talk to your boss. Go talk to your boss about what they have in store for you. Go talk to your boss about your concerns. I found in most cases, if you just talk to your boss about things, you would be surprised how many things you can work out. I'll be honest. I found that a lot of times, particularly when you say one of the reasons given was that people don't have enough authority or people don't have enough to do, managers are looking for people to do stuff. You will be surprised how little people will step up to do something. When the opportunity arises, people just won't step up. Okay, step up. Okay, make the offer. Hey, boss, is there anything what needs to be done? Start thinking strategically before you quit your job for that reason. Start thinking strategically about what it is you can do to help the company. What can you do? What can you offer to do to take the company to help take the company in the direction that they want to go? Okay, because a lot of times they are really literally looking for people to step up. So boredom and not enough direction, and even corporate culture. It's hard to define corporate culture, number one. And number two, a lot of us now have jobs where we can work from home a couple of days a week. So you really don't interact with the corporate culture. See, when I started working and back in the last millennium, literally, we went to work 5 days a week, no days home, suit and tie every day. Okay, my first 10, 12 years of working, that's what it was, suit and tie every day. And they didn't have to match, but you had on a suit and tie. But my point is, excuse me, again, managers are oftentimes looking for someone to step up. They're oftentimes looking for somebody to be a leader. Okay, they're looking for somebody to say, hey, I want to take this on and do this. Okay, do that. So before you start talking about quitting your job for something crazy, think about how you can make your job better. Think about the shortcomings in your job and how maybe you can work with your boss, work with your coworkers to overcome some of the shortcomings. Everybody wants a promotion, but nobody wants to be the boss, because a lot of, you see the bosses with gray hairs and stuff like that. Don't nobody want that drama, but everybody want the recognition. Take on more responsibility. That's the bottom line. But as I was saying originally, if you need the money, your whole perspective on this changes if you need the money. If you can quit a job because your spouse is working and y'all set for life and your money's play money, that takes on a different dynamic than if you're quitting a job that you need. Because I'm quote tired of their foolishness. Yeah, you heard people say that. They crazy over there. I'm tired of that. They work you hard. They pay you too. Okay, and it's nothing. Excuse me. It's nothing like a paycheck when you ain't got one. It's nothing like a paycheck. Okay, when you don't have a paycheck, it is nothing like not being able to get one. Okay, so don't quit your job for something stupid. Do not quit your job for something stupid. That's the bottom line. Don't quit your job for something stupid. Figure out how you can work within that job to make your job better. Figure out how. Hey guys, I apologize. I hit the finish button by mistake. They put it in a bad place. But what I was saying, and I hope you guys hear the last part of this, don't quit your job for something stupid, was what I was trying to point out. Don't quit your job for anything. A job is a hard thing to come by. Okay? Don't quit it for something that, But again, it's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. Anyway, I was about done, but thank you everybody for tuning in. For everybody who catches the last bit of this, I'll put it all on YouTube and put a link out to the page. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this show every week still, just like I've been doing. This month is Thanksgiving, so I got a great show lined up for the Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you can all tune in, chime in. I apologize for hitting the finish button on the first video. I'm sorry. But with that, I'm going to finish this because I'm pretty much said what I want to say. So we'll see you again next week. Go to bunnyslippersofevil.com or, hit me on Facebook if you got any questions about your job search. I answer questions about job search. I'm not a certified job life coach or anything like that. I've just been laid off a couple of times and I know some things. So with that, everybody, bunny slippers are evil. Why? Because if it's 3 o'clock and you got on your bunny slippers, you are not looking for a job. So I'm going to finish this one too. Everybody have a blessed week and we will talk again soon. Bye-bye.